What's happening, y'all? Welcome back for another exciting episode of Hashtag Them Dragons, where we're talking about all that hot D. I'm your host, Lord Cussalot Travis Pointer, aka the Dragon King, aka Big T, aka T Money, aka Sweet T, aka Black Merlin, aka the HNIC, and I'm joined once again by my co-host. Mara, the motherfucking Shark Watkins. How you doing, Mara?
Hello. I'm talking
And
from my new mic that I'm very excited about.
all you need is one mic.
Hell yeah.
And we got somebody else here. Who else is here?
We have the patron saint of podcasting, the warden Matt Ritter. Pew, 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 pew,
I'm
pew, pew.
I'm Mara.
Hi.
Y'all are on some bullshit.
We are.
How is it? How is it that the two episodes you guys pushed to Monday that I can't be a part of, we get titties and dragons, and then I come back and there are
We
no
talked
titties
about
and
that.
dragons? Why?
I didn't know where you were going with that sentence, and then I realized.
Here's the thing, though. Like, we don't control what episode comes
You
out
do.
when.
You absolutely do.
I have
I
zero
wish
control
people-
over what Max does. All right.
I would argue if I had control over it, Sir Kristen Cole being beheaded would be absolutely every next episode. It would just play every week.
And you know, if I had any control over it, there'd be dragons all over every single episode every time. So
Dragon, a beheaded dragon head does not count as dragon. They got a triple threat match, a damn near handicap match of dragons in the sky on the week that I wasn't here. We got brothel background titties on the week that I wasn't here.
oh, we got full
week-
oral, like dick in
Yeah.
mouth oral.
Yeah, that
Episode
too.
two.
Yeah,
Like,
you know what I got? I got weird Daemon shit that we're going to talk about where you see nothing and Jace's dragon just kind of like sitting there watching what's going on, and then a
his
beheaded
dragon's
dragon.
still a baby. And they point that out too. Like, his shit is still a baby.
Conspiracy, that's all I'm saying.
It's just all a conspiracy against you.
It is.
It's just specifically, just
I don't think you
everyone
guys
is
control it, but
conspiring.
I think someone talks to someone and they're like, listen, no dragons and shit this week. You guys can bring Matt out. Dragons and titties, you guys need to do it on Monday. Like, there's something going on.
I'm sorry, Matt.
I'm not. I had no control over, it, and I refuse to apologize for something I had no control over.
I mean, there's that too.
So, much like the Brackens told Daemon in not so many words, I don't give a fuck. Fuck you. Let's get into the episode itself, though. How y'all feeling about it in general? I know we kind of talked about it a little bit, but what do you think of it overall?
More filler. Like, they focused a lot. They no, not a lot, but they went back to like Damon's tripping, like his Luigi's Mansion experience is still going on. And then they added some Oedipus shit into it. It's a lot.
Okay.
A lot of conversing in this one. This was like an episode to really be like, listen to what they're saying.
Okay. What about you, Matt?
It was all right. Again, we had the fight, the exciting fight last episode. So then this was going to be the fallout episode and the build to wherever the fuck we're going. Like she said, mostly filler. It was fine.
Okay.
I kind of expected it, I guess, because like I don't know if it's trauma or it's that Game of Thrones has inflicted on us, but like I guess I kind of expected the episode to end with more of a oh shit, But like it kind like even though it kind of did, but like at the same time, I'm kind of like there was more that could have been done.
I don't know. I'm not following what you mean. What do you?
She was expecting the episode to kind of end with a bang, and we kind of got I'm
Okay,
kind of interested to find out where this is going to go next week, but like nothing really cool happened to end the episode. Like nothing impactful happened. It was just like okay.
Yeah, it just kind of left me with like, okay, so next episode is going to be a lot more filler detail. Not like it's a waste of story. It's just more background story that that
I
feeds
see.
into the war.
And I guess my thing was I take more issue with the word filler for it because I don't call it. I wouldn't consider this filler.
Detail. I'm trying. Yeah, I wish I could find a better word than filler. Because it's not like it's pointless. It's not like when we used to do super flashy Arrow and we would watch the Flash and we'd be like, okay, this had nothing to do with the main story. So what's next? But I don't know. I guess like because last week ended on some crazy shit, and I think
they showed enough of him this episode. Him and his sick daughter.
Yeah.
And his pissed off wife.
Oh, she is so over the shit. She is not having it.
Wait, is he getting a dragon? Because he would look cool as fuck on a dragon. Yeah, give him a dragon. I'm down for that.
He would, and I feel like
his daughter's gonna die, and he's gonna be pissed because they locked him in that castle. He's gonna get a dragon. He's gonna fuck some shit up.
I mean,
I could agree with that. It's giving like I'm not getting paid for the shit that you asked for. My kid's dying, and now you won't let me out of the fucking city. Like
his kid looked dead. He was looked like a dead child.
It did look like a just corpse, like
she was
completely pale, just
gray. Like I was just like, why are y'all doing this? Just let her die in peace at home with y'all. Like
well, he was trying to stay home, but his wife was not having it.
No, I know. And that's the unfortunate part.
Yeah. Let's get into the plot of the actual episode because it seems like that's where we're going anyway. So this whole thing kicks off kind of as I expected it to. Corlys is sad. He's very sad. His wife died. He loved his wife. I mean, she was fucking dope. I get it. She was a down ass bitch. Like, damn.
I liked the touch that they said at the end of the episode, like in that little like behind the scenes, when they were just like, we didn't expect him to let a tear drop down his face. And I was just like, that just makes it better. Because that means homeboy. I don't know his name. I don't know the actor's name who plays Corlys Velaryon. But like that just means he was. I just pictured him like as soon as they said that, I pictured him like in his trailer, going like reading the lines and being like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna let a tear drop.
Yep. Give them a single thug tear. They ain't ready. They are not ready.
Just so they know that I'm breathing.
So, Corlys's house is also old Valyria, like the Targaryens, correct? That's why they got the white hair still. Yeah. Okay. So, but non-dragon riders.
Not dragon riders, right? Only the Targaryens are actual dragon riders.
Is it Dragon Lord?
Give him a fucking dragon too.
Yeah, but he's not a dragon rider. So.
Yeah. Well, I think like it feels like they've been, from what I've been reading up on, because I'm not reading the books. And so
it's only one book.
Oh, well, I'm not reading the book. And I just go based off of other people who have read the book providing information on the internet. It feels like they're setting up to his bastard kids, whose names I have forgotten. Probably
like Adam and something.
Yeah, Adam and company. We'll just go with that. That they may get a dragon, but I feel like one of them.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, because that was, I think, that whole conversation between him and Bela when he was like, "I would leave, the Salt Throne to you or whatever," and she was like, "I'm of blood and fire. You need someone who's of salt and sea, and that would be his sons. That would be his bastard sons that he's given all that to.
Mm. But I forgot where we left off at.
Corliss single thug tier.
Yeah, but I appreciated the acting of that.
I'm happy that they've added a lot more black people into the show.
Hell yeah.
Black jobs.
We got black maesters, we got black lords, we got black people everywhere doing shit. They're not ready to put a black guy on a dragon, apparently, is what I'm hearing. But
No.
Laner.
was he on a dragon?
Yeah, Sea Smoke.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was on one. Their daughter
And
had
Bela.
one. Bela has a dragon. Lena
She chased down Cole and old boy and when she first saw him and shit. So yeah.
They told her not to engage, and she got as close as she could to engaging
when
without
I said
engaging.
that, I meant full black people. Not she's still half white, which is where she gets her dragon riding from.
Matt, you're
Laner's
part
still
of
half white. That's where the point is they're only letting the whites ride the dragons.
You're part of the problem.
I'm not part of the problem.
Separating the diaspora.
No, I'm pointing out the fact that you still, according to the rules of Game of Thrones, have to be half white to ride a dragon. That's all I'm saying. I just want to see a person without any bounds just on a dragon. Just hop on a dragon and go.
I just want to know how
the Targaryen thing. That's how they got around it. It's like you got to be full. You got to have the Targaryen blood. And
this is what I have to understand though. How did we go from this everyone commingling, no one's caring about skin tone unless it's because of the right to the throne, and even then it's really just hair. How did we get from that to we are the superior race and black people are not equal anymore?
Ask George R. Martin.
If this was in like real time, and just like, how did we get from that to here?
The only other major character in Game of Thrones I remember that was black was that dude who was pretending to be rich, that was trying to hook up with Daenerys.
There was also that dude that was helping.
I know who you're talking about because I watched some Watch Mojo list that was talking about Game of Thrones characters who got what
Davos. I forgot what his name was.
Who got what they deserved, and that dude who you were talking about, Matt, was on that list.
He's also in Sweet Tooth, and he's cool on Sweet Tooth.
Oh, that's good. How redeeming.
Yeah. Sweet Tooth calls him Big Man, and I'll call him Big Nigga because it's a big nigga. But
what is it with these shows?
Huh?
Just calling black people big with the word big in front. It's kind of.
if you look at them, like it's just Sweet Tooth that calls him that. Gus, whose nickname is Sweet Tooth, like it's just him that calls him Big Man. Everybody else calls him by his name. It's just this little boy calls him Big Man because he sees him and they're like, this is a big motherfucker.
When you said that, it just reminded me of Resident Alien, where the cop is like, everybody calls me Big Black, and we were just like, could they not?
Like, who calls you that?
Who are these people?
I've yet to hear anybody call you Big Black. Like 3 seasons in, nobody has called him Big Black yet, except himself.
Yep. But I'm sorry, keep going.
No problem. We can get past Corliss in his single thug tier now.
Yeah.
King's Landing.
It's in shambles.
These motherfuckers. This is just another example of how Cole is just the worst, and he don't even realize he's the worst. Parading Melee's head through the city, and talking about how Aegon killed her, blah blah blah, and the people are not having it. They're like, "Yo, what the fuck?"
They're just like, what is happening right now?
Like this is an ill omen. Like you got to think these people look to dragons like basically as gods.
That's what he said. I thought dragons were gods. One kid said specifically that.
And bringing a dragon's rotting head through the city, which I gotta think smelled fucking awful.
They did such. Twitter was like also going on about it. Y'all know white folks don't play about animals. The small folk disgusted.
It's true.
And it's true. Like, and to your point, Travis, like you can even see like the detail that they put into it with like it's still heating the fuck. It's still hot in that head.
Mhm.
Which-
No, so if you look, there were flies buzzing around, and they had like
Mhm.
little on the side of the cart. They had smoke coming up, I think, to get rid of the smell and the flies. So they were like burning incense next
Oh,
to
so
it.
they're fumigating at the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
time.
And
Yeah,
it's
that's what
doing
that
no
was.
good.
Yeah, I just assumed that was still like residual heat coming out of the dragon. But like, I'm also thinking, I was looking a lot. I was going really in depth at looking at the dragon because I was just like, how much anger did you have to put in with your sword to break
To
that shit
get the rest of it off.
to get through their spinal column?
Well, Vagar already bit through it. So
Oh, you're right. So Vagar did a lot of the heavy
Yeah.
sawing. Because I was just like, what did they use?
yeah, her angry ass already did most of the work. So what's up, man?
What's worse, letting your sugar mama's child die, or being the head of King's Guard and the hand of the king and letting your king, well, not, I guess not die, but get fucked up, pretty much dead. He's pretty much just incapacitated.
The latter. The latter. I mean, like, worst comes to worst, he's not supposed to be getting any pussy anyway. Like, like he would just be restoring order. But like, your king did some stupid shit and is almost dying on your watch after you just been named his hand and shit like that. After, baby, I know his guts were rumbling the entire ride back to King's Landing.
And here's the thing: the fucked up thing about it all is this actually wasn't even his fault.
It wasn't.
Like, of all the shit, so much else is his fault, but this actually wasn't even his fault.
And Aemond did that shit on purpose.
Aemond
No
was
qualms.
like,
He
oh,
knew
he's
exactly
here?
what the fuck he was doing.
Yeah, Aemond did that shit.
Same person, same
And
difference.
fucking no, not at all.
No, I
Not
know.
at all. Not at all. Aemond wishes.
No, I know.
But it started with Aegon bringing his dumb ass out there in the first place. Like, you weren't even supposed to be here, bruh. Like,
Kids, man.
like Allison has to be looking at her children and just be like, what the fuck? Just all the time.
She has to feel like a terrible mother. The one son, stupid, burned
What
the
up,
fuck
old
up, laid
man?
in the hospital bed. The other son, she knows is responsible for it, but nobody will admit it to her. But she knows what the fuck. She's asking all the right questions.
She knows
all
her
the wrong
other
people.
son is a psychopath.
If anybody understands her children, Allison knows what she gave birth to. All right. It is just that simple.
Like, I know she is sick throughout this entire episode.
Yeah. But yeah, like I mentioned, people are not happy. They bring Aegon in. The Maces are working on him. See, they got like peel the armor off of him because he like melted into it and shit. And it was
I have watched
rough in his streets, man.
I have watched a lot of Grey's Anatomy.
Mm-hmm.
And even SVU has touched on some burn shit. I was not prepared when they were taking off the armor off of him, and I was just like, ah. I was like, I've seen some debriding of skin before, or what is it? Not debriding, degloving. Not degloving. That is a horrible accident. No, it's debriding, right? Or debreeding or something like that. How they take off burnt skin.
None of the words you were using sound familiar to me in the English.
Or me.
To any of my nurses out there, please.
Like you are. I have no idea.
I feel like debreeding is what they're trying to ban in Congress right now.
Really? Because it just feels like that's what half of Congress is.
Man, I'm surprised you were awake in the first place. Like,
it feels like good night. It feels like what most of Congress is a product of, and maybe they're not learning from.
No, that's inbreeding. That's not debreeding. That's inbreeding. See, different words.
Well, see, Congress is trying to keep us breeding. That's the problem.
That's what I'm saying. They're trying to ban debreeding.
Got you.
keep us breeding. See, here we right here.
We got there. We got there.
We were gonna get there.
Meanwhile, though, by the way, the leaves that they were using in the place, Amani was watching with me, of course, and she was just like, "Is that lettuce?" Like it just, like I mean, if you really think about it, it does kind of look like romaine lettuce, kind of. But
Hey, I would prefer romaine over iceberg.
I think everybody does. I can't think of anybody who I've ever met who actually like puts lettuce on stuff who says they prefer iceberg over romaine.
I mean, I like to throw it in for a little crisp, a little razzle dazzle, but
No, I don't add crunchy water for no reason. Serves zero purpose. Like
I know.
there are so many other things I could add for crunch that would bring actual flavor also. So it's just like I see no purpose in lettuce.
There's
It's
no
just,
benefit of it.
That's just me. Like even when I've had salad and all that, I'll get a spinach salad, because it's just like I don't know.
We were
lettuce
two
is
buns
really
and a white salve away from him being a McChicken.
Wait, what?
What?
So we were two buns and a white salve away from him being a McChicken.
Aegon. Okay.
Oh, okay. I was
That's what
like,
we're talking about. The guy that they were putting the lettuce on. Yes, him. Who else?
I had to stop doing what I was doing just because I was like, what did you just say?
Oh man.
He got deep fried like a big chicken.
I got you. We're with you now. There were steps to get there that I wasn't in your head for. So
we're talking about putting lettuce on. Anyway,
I know, but we were way more focused on lettuce at that point.
Like we weren't even on the topic.
I
Of the
forgot
show
all
anymore.
about Aegon. Like if I'm being completely honest, I'd forgotten all about him. And honestly, I like to keep forgetting about him. So let's move on to the Dragonstone because who gives a shit about Aegon? Rhaenyra is in there talking with her council, and they still being shitty as they have been since the beginning of the season. She got to check them. One of them, I forgot what the fuck his name is like, times of war, the fairer sex is the gentler sex. I mean, is blah 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 blah. He's like, and Rhaenyra's like, yo, we've been at peace our entire lives. You've seen no more battle than I have, and it was implied at the end of that, sit your bitch ass down. She didn't say it, but that was implied at the end.
She was not hearing that shit.
And it's just like they keep trying her, and it's just. Woo.
I was like, Ray, you're gonna have to start taking people outside and
you gotta
reminding them who you are.
Gotta channel your inner Cartman too, and you let them know, respect my authority.
Oh, not put their parents in a chili.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. We don't need to do that.
Because
don't do that.
When you said you got to pull out your inner Cartman, that was the first thing.
Here's the thing, though. This is Game of Thrones. And fucking
Afraid pie? Is that what you're going to?
Yes.
Yeah.
They get it. So yes.
Yeah.
Cook some motherfuckers up. Feed them to them. Sit them down. Be like.
It's funny to think
sex,
about.
Huh? How's that food taste?
It's funny to think.
Like
I think
family.
that South Park episode came out way before the Scott Tournament chili thing. That was way before. That was like years ago, right?
Oh yeah, forever ago.
Which makes it even funnier that that happened there.
Oh man. So then we got after this meeting, Jace is walking through the hall. Baylor sees him. She's like, "Hey, where you going? What's going on?" And he's like, "I'm heading off to Harrenhal because ain't shit popping off here, and I'm gonna go out there. Don't tell my mama." And
don't tell my mama.
I mean, that's basically
no. I know it's just
he's
funny.
not going to Harrenhal.
Wait, I'm getting there.
Okay,
but he said he was going to Harrenhal at first.
Mm-hmm.
When he first saw her, he said he was going to Harrenhal. After the conversation, though, he said, "Oh wait, I'll go see the phrase because we can do this, blah 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 blah." but originally he was going to Harrenhal.
Everyone heard him say he was going to go see the Freys, and we were just like, the Freys?
We just talked about Frey pie.
Don't trust the Freys.
Nah, they ain't shit. And we all know they ain't shit. And when we saw them, they showed they really ain't shit, but it was like less ain't shit than they were, in Game of Thrones.
The Freys show their ass every time that they can.
Oh yeah.
Which we're not there yet. I'll talk about when we get there.
Yeah. Then we go down to the Riverlands. Daemon down there putting in work, talking to the Brackens. I know which one is which now, by the way.
Tell us.
So the Blackwoods are the ones that are with them. Because the way I was able to like put it in line, Blackwoods, Team Black, boom. Okay, I can remember that now. So he was talking to the Brackens, and he's just like, listen, join up with us, particularly me, or I'm gonna burn you up. And they basically told him, eat a dick, and turned around and rode away. And he didn't burn them up. And I'm just like,
I was disappointed, but it was hysterical because like they were quick to be like, no.
It just rolled away.
Absolutely not. The Brackens were not
Zero
bullshit
respect.
LMFAO. They picked Dracarys. And that shot that they did of Daemon's dragon. What's his dragon's name? Caraxes, thank you. Whining, but like lining up right behind that.
Yeah.
Captain,
you can tell that dragon like, I
dude.
want to burn these motherfuckers up.
I was just like, ooh.
Daemon didn't let him do it. And the thing afterwards, when he's sitting there talking to Blackwood, and he's just like, I did not expect them to be so ready to die. And I'm like, yo, they chose to burn over, Oh, that was Will. Okay.
Yeah,
I was like, over what?
No, it was just like I saw it come up on the screen, but I was also checking my notes at the same time. So it was just like, wait, who was it? Oh, that was Will. Sorry.
It chose to burn over Ola. Okay.
Hi, Will.
But they chose the fire over, joining us. Like they have some steel in them. That's the kind of thing I need, with me. So we got to figure out how to get them to turn. And basically tells Blackwood, go do fucked up shit to get him to surrender. And that just put that thing in my head. Do y'all remember the meme? It was I guess it was a video too, because there was audio with it. It was like, time to do some sketchy shit. Dude.
Yeah, I think so.
Hope I get away with it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking in my head. Like, yep, time to do some sketchy shit.
He didn't even put on his yeah, it's just sketchy this time. I was like, he didn't put on his cloak, but that's the murder cloak. So that's
he didn't do it. He was having somebody else do it, but
that's a different attire.
I still feel like he should have been wearing the murder cloak.
Well, that's the thing. There was a conversation they had directly after he was being direct with somebody, so he didn't have a chance to go change into the murder hoodie. But
it would have been great if he did. If he just like stepped into the woods, came back.
He's like, yeah, wait a minute, before we have this conversation. And
listen.
Let me just put on my talking cloak.
Kidnap their wife and kids.
Yeah.
Kill all their cattle.
Then we head over to the Vale. And Rhaena's there. And am I the only one that hates Lady Aaron?
Yeah. No. I wouldn't say I hate her, but like someone called her insufferable, or they're like, is every Aaron woman this insufferable? And I was like, yeah, that's relatable.
I think hate is a strong word. Hate may be a strong word, but I was just like, I don't like you at all. Like you, why are you talking to Rhaena like that? She ain't do nothing to you. Like,
well, I mean, listen, if you're like, I'll give you 15,000 men. I need a dragon though. My one weakness is this guy. And then they sent baby dragons that weren't worth shit as like, here you go. Like that does not seem like living up to your end of the deal. When there is a war coming and you have me,
sounds like you made a bad deal and didn't get specifics.
Yeah, like you just said, I want this, and it was like,
Like I gave
okay.
you 2 of them. Like, don't get mad at me because you bad at making deals. I wasn't even part of the deal. I'm here to deliver on the deal that I was told to deliver on. I'm like, got the dragons. Here we go. And you got eggs here too? You don't shut the fuck up. Like,
You know what I'm saying? Like, girl.
and the thing is, the way she was, it was the way she was talking to Raina to me. I'm just like, you forgetting like who her parents are, or who her father is, most specifically.
Rhaena's trapped in her castle. They can't penetrate the castle, and Rhaena ain't got a fucking dragon. So,
you know who does have a dragon?
someone that's very fucking busy.
Her father.
Who is? We haven't. Daddy's busy.
They don't know that.
They definitely don't know that. The Eyrie itself is impregnable. Stairs in Sir Bronn of the Blackwater.
Yeah.
Nice little callback to.
In his own words, I'll impregnate the bitch. Speaking of Bronn, what was I watching? And I saw him. Oh,
Breaker?
No, not that Bronn. I was talking about Sir Bronn of the Blackwater. All right.
That's how I'm gonna start referring to him though.
What?
Bron Breaker. I'm gonna start calling him Sir Bronn of the Blackwater.
Okay. I was watching for the first time this past week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and last night. Finally saw the John Wick movies. And saw Bronn was in the third one. I'm like, oh shit, that's Bronn. All right. What up, dude?
Is the third one the one with Halle Berry?
Yep. Anyway, Lady Aaron sucks. But then we got Ray. She's talking with her spy lady. What the fuck is her name? Something with an M. I can't remember. Whatever.
I want to say Missandei, but I know it's not Missandei. Missandei's someone else.
No, that was Game of Thrones.
Massaria?
Is it Massaria? Is that her name? Spy lady.
Yes.
The spy lady from the brothels, Massaria. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Talking to her, and she was like, listen, the people are not happy. They hungry. They just paraded a dragon head through the city, and they're like, this is an ill omen. Things are not good. There are other ways to fight this war right now. We can do it from within. Send somebody that can do what you can't do. And we gonna do some sketchy shit too.
Right. She was like, Kristen Cole made a mistake. Girl, don't we know it? So many mistakes were made.
Kristen Cole is one walking mistake.
Yes.
Well, Rhaenyra was also in there doubting herself and shit. Like, yeah, they're right. I don't have a penis, and it's like, no, shut the fuck up. Do your thing.
Right. She over here letting these men talk to her all
Get
crazy.
in her head. Yeah.
It's like I get like her frustration on her lack of combat training. Like she didn't have a sword thrusted in her hand, and it's just like we get it, because at that time when she was born, at that point, why would they ever expect that she would need to know how to fight? Because Queen Emma was still alive and kicking and able to be knocked up.
Even though she was, pushing out dead kids, but they figured eventually one boy would come out alive and
one would be strong enough and live.
Yeah.
And he was to a degree.
But speaking of someone who does have a dick and what he was doing with it in his dreams.
His mom?
We cut over to Daemon, and as we're watching this, I'm like, this dream of him fucking this woman. At first, I thought, wait, is that Emma? What did she look like? I didn't remember what she looked like. I thought that was the whole thing of him. Like, oh, you were supposed to be with me, and you were supposed to rule if you were older, blah, blah, blah. Then we find out it's his mother. And I'm like,
Twitter was not having a good time with this scene.
Like, what?
They were like, "Oh, this
Can you
place
zoom
got
in on that?
yes." Oh no. I don't know why that is so like separate. It was like, "Oh, this place got Day tripping, traumatized in High Valerian."
Yeah.
They was having.
I also like that person's name. LeBron James Earl Jones. That's a good one.
He was doing everything to his mother too, like
Mm-hmm.
the whole 9. This
Mhm.
wasn't just like no, all of it.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's just like you're jealous, and then you realize the terms of what's going on, and it's just like, oh no. Where they were just like, they got Daemon hallucinating, having sex with his own mother. The hell?
Having sex.
To be fair, though, it's Game of Thrones, and incest is not new. So
yeah, but not with the mama though. Like we haven't seen that.
Yeah, like I feel like that's what I was saying.
Strangely enough, there's a line.
Travis is like brother and sister is mother and
We've
son.
gotten used to it.
Yeah, because I mean, like you said, Matt, like Game of Thrones, like first episode, they gave us twins, like brother and sister twins.
But that's kind of like masturbation, right? Like it is.
They weren't identical, so they don't share the same DNA. So no, it's not.
If you want to say that about like Tia and Tamara, I'll possibly give, or Mary Kate and Ashley, I'll give you that. But Jamie,
strangely enough, Mary Kate and Ashley are not identical twins.
I know. Well,
they look the same, but they're actually fraternal twins.
Is Tia and Tamara identical, or are they fraternal?
It's all masturbation.
I feel like they're fraternal, but you get what I'm saying.
I know what you mean.
But yeah, they were just like, Twitter said, I just don't think the additional incest.
My thing was, I thought he was going to be fucking the witch, and that's just what he saw. I did not expect him to be like in the middle of dinner daydreaming about eating out his mom.
I don't think anybody was expecting that, Matt.
Not at all. Like, hold. Even this 1 second. I have so many windows open. I can't even find where I
am. Yeah.
And also, why did it take fucking his mom for him to all of a sudden be like, I'm the king? And then they're like the king consort. He goes, I don't think that second part is necessary.
That was funny. That was actually funny.
It was crazy how my guy got a weird nut off and then all of a sudden was like, I'm big man now.
Yeah, literally, he's like, he got his weird nut off, and then he's like, I'm going to go conquer King's Landing, and she can come with me if she wants and rule by my side. Like, he gave up being the king bride, and he is like, I'm just going to take shit now. It was mine to begin with.
It might be weird. Very weird. However, Matt, you do know, as a man, you do feel more confident in yourself after you just got some. Like, it's a thing. Now, the fact that it was in his own head and it was with his mother makes this very weird.
Exactly my point. Like, I've never woken up from a wet dream like, I'm going to go conquer the world.
Maybe he just has a very vivid imagination. The witch is still fucking witch. So.
I don't even need to know what that
says. Everybody fighting for the throne. Daemon and Harold Hall having visions about his mom.
At the dinner table, too.
Like that's insanity.
I mean, to be fair, it seems like nobody respects that dinner table. So it's just...
I'm sorry. That was good. But I'm actually getting tired of the craziness, because even Twitter was like, if we get another episode of Daemon playing around in Luigi's mansion, I swear to God, I'm pulling up to Harrenhal and dragging him out there my damn self. And I'm here for that too. Like, let's get him on some different mission.
Remember one of his visions
said he would die
here.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know.
I don't know if there's much we can do about that, or
if Travis knows things we don't. I don't like it.
Oh, I know a lot of things you don't know. Like a lot of things you all have said already in this episode. I'm like, oh, yeah, they don't know.
Like, if only you knew.
I hate it so much. Just looking at that.
Read more, nigga. So,
I have tried those books. No. I even tried listening to it on audiobook and it put me the fuck to sleep. Like that man does not write in a way that is conducive to me paying the fuck attention to what is going on.
I feel like if I listened to the audiobook while I went to sleep, though, I feel like if I woke up the next morning, I'd be able to answer any question.
I understand why he hasn't finished writing the series yet, because he hasn't figured out the words that he needs to write the next fucking book. They don't exist, and he hasn't fucking invented them yet. That's why. Book 6 is still coming.
Old. I need to know. I want to know what happens next. Well, actually, no, it doesn't matter, because then
Mara's like, I need the ending to the story that I didn't get the first time around.
Yeah, because I was just like, wait, because no matter what he writes now, it doesn't.
That's the thing. The basic ending is what they have, so they knew. The thing is, it still ends with Bran being king. Like, that's the thing. So. The way they presented it was very shitty, and I bet in the books it will be presented much better. But the basics of it all, the plot points and all that, were given from him, so they know.
Bran was supposed to go live in a fucking tree. That was what was supposed to happen, not on throne. Neither here nor there. We still got a lot of episode to get through.
We do. So after he wakes up, there's a whole conversation about, hey, we got to pay all these people, and Harrenhal ain't got no gold. And Daemon was like, I'll take care of it myself, because he didn't want to ask Ray for help. Back in King's Landing, though, the discussion of who is going to be Regent, which is the name of this episode, is brought up. And they're like, all right, well, who should it be? And Alicent's like, well, I did it, for my husband when he was on death's door for like 500 years, so I can do it again. And they're like, Aemond is the actual heir, though. And also the whole reason we went to war and we have all these people backing us right now is because they wanted to make a woman queen and put a woman in charge. We can't turn around and do that ourselves now.
The Green Council, when Alicent said she should be regent.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much the RNC.
It's just like, what do you think we're fighting for? Like, you think we actually wanted your son to be king? Like, no, we just didn't want a woman in charge. So you think we're going to flip on that now?
How stupid must she feel?
I know she felt dumb as fuck.
That she started a war for no fucking reason, but then doubled down, dug her heels and said, fuck it, we're going all this way. Put her son on the throne. He fired her father, and nobody respects her, and nobody even wants her on the fucking council. And the one legitimate claim she has, they're like, no, you got a vagina.
Mm-hmm. Which
Danny's not here to back her up.
Which doesn't, in a way, they're still right though, because Aemond was the actual heir next in line, so it should have been him anyway. But
I also love how Aemond is just he didn't say a word. He did all of the things he needed to do, and he just stood there silent and waited for them to give him the crown.
Oh, Twitter loved
so pleased with himself.
And Twitter loved how pleased with himself he was. Just the pure feeling of what he was witnessing happen in there while he just sat silently. But this one tweet where it was see how that misogynistic clown came back to bite Alicent in the ass?
Yeah, I'm watching this whole scene. I'm just like, Aemond, make it Aemond, over and over again, because I'm like, oh, this is going to be so deliciously disastrous, and I want it. Bring it.
And then Sir Kristen Cole, you let this woman's son get burnt to a fucking crisp, and then also said, "Yeah, no, you're not fit to."
Aemond during the small council meeting when everyone is talking about who should be ruling over Aegon.
Larry's this close to fucking a foot because Kristen's out now. He fucked up. Larry's is this close to getting a foot job.
Oh, Laris, but also didn't Laris vote against her too?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but he can use that. He did, but he has plausible deniability. He put it on Kristen. He's like, I mean, Aemond is it, but Kristen, what do you think?
She was mad. She was heated.
So Aemond, first of all, tells him like, "Yo, don't let anybody out of the city," because he like, "Yo, we can't let people leave. We need the small folk here because somebody's got to make the weapons, somebody's got to feed the horses and all that shit. So we can't let people leave. So we got to keep them all here." But then he says something that's just like, "About damn time." He's like, "And somebody cut down the fucking rat catchers because I didn't know they were still hanging up there. Like if they're still hanging up there,
yeah,
motherfuckers down."
And
I saw them when they were parading the fucking dragon through, and I'm like, why are they still there? Like I just saw skulls, and I'm like,
they're decomposed. Yeah, a lot of people pointed out that that the dog was still there.
Yeah,
the dog was just following around the corpse.
They were like, they're cutting down those rat catchers. Thank you, Aemond. Oh shit, I didn't even put it up.
Probably should. Yeah, there we go.
And then, but yeah, the dog gets me every time.
It's a loyal dog right there, man.
Yes, he is. Because I would have probably tried to find a new home by now.
Yeah. And then after that, we see the gold cloaks. We talked about the scene earlier though, when the blacksmith and his wife were going back and forth and all that kind of stuff. But people are trying to leave. Gold cloaks not letting anybody out. We see, his like gray skinned daughter just
dying,
just all fucked up, and yeah, things are not good. Then we got Jace at the twins speaking with the Freys, and like I said earlier, the Freys still ain't shit.
This is so confusing. So they said that Lord Frey wasn't there, so who the fuck were these two delegates?
Lesser Freys.
I don't know how they can make deals for the Freys if Lord Frey's not about the shit. Like, how are you just like accepting Harrenhal for Lord Frey?
Well, I think he sent them to speak with him on his behalf. So
okay,
he didn't want to be bothered with it because Freys ain't shit. So I mean, you saw how Walder was. He wasn't really trying to be bothered either. So there's some negotiating going on. He was like we're worried about Vhagar. Like, you're worried about Vhagar, who's leagues away, when my dragon is sitting right in front of your door. Really? And at that point, they're like, true that.
You right. You got a point. Points were made.
So they were like, well, we want Harrenhal. And like, okay, well, if we give you Harrenhal, we're gonna need more than just passage through the twins, man. Like, we need you to bend the knee. And it was like, all right, well, deal. If we get Harrenhal, which is always weird to me, because even like throughout, they don't really talk about it as much in the show on Game of Thrones, but like in the books and everything. For some reason, everybody always wants fucking Harrenhal, and I don't understand why. Like,
I don't know. It must be a prime piece of real estate.
But it's not. If you look at it, it is trash.
No, I know. I mean, like, I guess where it is, I don't know. I'm just making guesses. I have to see a map.
It is always.
Well, they did talk about when they were given like the rundown of Harrenhal, like how the land around it cannot sustain it, but it's something that everyone wants because it's the size of it and just the appeal of it it makes you seem like a bigger, more important. He who owns Harrenhal seems like they're a bigger fucking deal than they really are. That's why everyone wants it, is the presence of it. Despite
but they have the twins, like
greedy motherfuckers, Travis.
but they want that shitty thing. Like it makes no sense to me. It's just so fucking weird. What are we looking at here?
The map. This is that table that
Oh, okay.
that's in King's
Those
Landing.
are people. Okay, I couldn't. I'm like, what the fuck am I looking at?
Oh, I was even ignoring the fact that there were people in this.
Well, it was the thing. That's what threw me off. Like, it looked like it might be a map, but then at the same time, like, is this a D&D battle map? Like, what is happening here? And then I saw the people around the thing. I'm like, oh, okay, they're standing around a table. Okay, I got you. I saw. I see where we're at now. This is the Dragonstone table. Okay.
Yeah,
It's dope as fuck too.
it's what?
Dope as fuck too.
Right? This with like a nice like thing of coat of resin over it. Oh, it'd be so beautiful.
Okay.
All right,
So what are you showing us?
I just wanted to see the map, and so I was trying to see first off where is here's Harrenhal. So Harrenhal is right here,
Mm-hmm.
and then King's Landing's down here. Okay, but this looks like nothing. Harrenhal looks like it's just in the middle of like. Are these supposed to be rivers?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
I mean, rivers are a resource. Water.
Yeah. It's called. That's why it's surrounded by the rivers. That's why it's called the Riverlands.
Got you.
And I'm assuming Harrenhal is like the main keep in the Riverlands. That's why everyone wants it.
Yeah, or it seems like it's also like the opening to River Run. Like it's the first place you hit, depending on where you're coming from.
Maybe.
Okay.
But yeah. Back at Harrenhal, though, speaking of that stupid ass place, Damon's in there. He's hearing screams. And I was like, does nobody else hear the screams? I guess nobody else heard the screams. So then he starts talking with the witch lady, and she is just fucking his head up. Just basically like, yo, you realize you like the way you acting is like, you know, you being a real ain't shit nigga right now. Like it's like you why are you doing all this shady shit? And they're like, well, they gotta be brought more. Yeah, but what happens after that? Like, what the fuck are you doing? And
he's like, I'm gonna take my throne.
Turns out she was right though. So back in Dragonstone though, she has talked. Rhaenyra has talked to Baela like, yo, bring this to your grandfather, and it was the badge. She wants him to be hand of the king. And that whole conversation between the two of them, where she basically tells him like, yo, yeah, it's sad, but she went out the way she wanted to go out. Speaking about Rhaenyra, not Rhaenyra, Rhaenys. And he's like, that's the way I want to go out. Like, it's kind of just how it is. We Targaryens, we go down in fire. That's why my mama went out the way she went out, And that was when he tells like he would have, left, Driftmark to her, and she's just like, nah, I'm blood and fire. You need somebody that is, salt and sea. What's the face, Matt?
Does Driftmark exist in Game of Thrones? Or is that just no longer on the map?
It's still there.
It's not a major house, though.
No.
Okay.
House Valerian does not exist anymore.
Well, I know that, but like when a house falls, they give the fucking shit to someone else.
Yeah, I mean the place still exists. It's just not a big deal anymore. Then yeah, back at Dragonstone, Rhaenyra, she sends old dude that was doing all the main arguing before, who she told to sit his bitch ass down. She's like, yo, you need to go down to Harrenhal and just talk to my husband, because we just need we just need to know what the fuck he's doing, because we ain't heard shit. And I'm not gonna send a Raven because he'll just ignore it because Daemon. So go down there and find out what the fuck's going on.
That's a suicide mission.
Yeah, maybe. It depends on Daemon's mood. After what just happened, though, it's probably going to be a very foul mood.
I don't care what Daemon's mood is. I feel like going to check up on Daemon is not going to be accepted well by Daemon in any circumstances. Like, the fuck you mean she sent you to check in on me?
I mean,
he didn't head back.
He didn't kill the Brackens when they basically told him to eat a dick. So, I mean,
no, he instead sent the Blackwoods to do a bunch of fucked up shit to them, like war crimes. Instead, he's like, war crimes. Go do war crimes.
Mm-hmm.
He sent an army to go do war crimes. You are correct. He did not kill them.
And as a result of those war crimes, the Brackens show up and just wake Daemon up in the middle of the night, basically to tell him "fuck you." Like it was a whole thing. There was a whole lot said, but the gist of it all was "fuck you." After all this shit you let the Blackwoods do and all that, like they listed all the atrocities, all the war crimes, and they're like, "Yeah, we're not fighting for you. Fuck you."
Like you
One thing
thought
that's-
you.
Go ahead.
I was like, he thought they were like, you thought you were doing something, but you weren't.
Well, one dude had some balls though. He was like, "What else do we expect from somebody who murdered a child?" And he's like, "Whoever the fuck said that, we'll bring him to me. I'm gonna have him killed." He goes, "How about the entire kingdom? Like everybody, all of them?
Everyone.
Like you got some fucking balls to be talking to Dan. Do they not know this man is like? I feel like in a world where you have these people, like certain people, word gets around, and the fact that Daemon is fucking crazy is a word that would get around to people. Like people should know this man is unstable."
Yeah,
I
but
just-
it was established at the beginning though. The Brackens don't give a fuck. That's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
that's just
I
who
also-
they are. They don't give a fuck.
I also at first was supposed to. I also first thought that was supposed to possibly make us or Daemon think that this was a hallucination.
That thought crossed my mind for a second, but not for very long.
Okay. Because I was
So
just
he
like,
only
oh, that
hallucinates
is
about-
pretty. I was like, that's just pretty crazy to say.
He only hallucinates about fucking people he never met before.
Well, he also hallucinated about, Rhaenyra and all that too. And the
Yeah.
random people walking around the table and talking shit to him after he got the drugs from the witch lady.
His mother and a child. Those are the two women he's fantasized about while being in Harrenhal.
Well, his wife too. His dead wife.
Eh.
Both of them.
But like she showed up to be like, "What are you doing?" Like that wasn't. He didn't seduce her.
True. And the first dead wife showed him, telling him he was going to die there. So
Yeah.
Back at King's Landing, though, we got Aemond staring at the throne, and Helena's there, and she just looks at him like, "Was it worth the price?" Because she knows what the fuck happened to. She knows her brother.
everything.
She's
She's
just
like the
like,
man in the tree.
Jace returns to Dragonstone, and he goes to talk to Rhaenyra. She's clearly in a very foul mood, but she also tells Jace that she's proud of him. He did well, and he's like, "Well, why you got the boo-boo face? Like, what's going on?" And she basically tells him like how frustrated she is because, like, he was put in charge. She was put in charge and all that, and people not respecting her, and she wasn't, trained to do all these different things, and yada 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 yada. And Jace finally suggests to her, he's like, "Yo,
give me a few more minutes. We're almost done."
We've got dragons," but she was like, "Yo, we ain't got nobody to ride them." And he lets him know, like, "Yeah, well, we got all these other people out here with Targaryen blood. It's diluted a little bit." Like mine, diluted a little bit, but they are Targaryens, and like they're at least generations past and all that kind of stuff. It'll be weak, and I'm sitting the whole time thinking like, if he can ride a dragon, we can get one of these others. Like
I think she thought the same thing. I think as he was talking at dawn on her, she's like, "Well, you got on a dragon. If you could get on a dragon, maybe this isn't a terrible idea."
yeah.
Right. She's like, "Oh my gosh, you're so smart."
So they're like, "Yeah, we gonna find some more Targaryens out there, and probably including the old dude, the blacksmith. That's gonna, they're gonna test him. And be like, yo, can you ride a dragon? I will not tell you whether or not he will ride a dragon, but clearly they're gonna bring him in for this, because why else would they talk about him being a Targaryen and shit, and then talk about this if he's not gonna try to ride a dragon at some point?"
Mm-hmm.
Rhaena needs a dragon.
Rhaena does need a dragon as well. She's tried though. They mentioned it like she damn near.
Yeah, she almost died.
She almost died. So
Not gonna do
they
that
gotta
again. No, do it again.
Yeah, she looked shook in the preview.
They need some different ones to try for her to try to speak to. Like, they got them baby with it. Maybe she can, bond with them or some shit. Because
going for the big one ain't it.
Yeah. But yeah, that was this episode. They ended with them saying, "Hey, let's find some new Targaryens." But overall, give this your rating. Well, before we do that, I'll ask y'all, who's winning this episode?
Aemond?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, got to go with you on that one. That's what I was thinking. But who's losing?
Definitely Aegon.
That's fair. It's a holdover from last episode, though, I feel.
I'm going to say Daemon.
That's what I was thinking, but I'm also
He's
thinking
losing.
Alicent.
Yeah. I was going to say Daemon's losing his mind. They gave Harrenhal. He hasn't even heard that yet. Wait till he hears that Jace just up and gave away the castle that he just fucking came and took claim to. After
I don't think he
apparently
wants Harrenhal. I think he just took it because it was necessary for the war effort. I don't think he wants to be over Harrenhal.
Like, that's
he kept saying, "This is my shit now." Like,
he needs them to respect his authority.
It's kind of like the same. Like, I feel like he would have had the same attitude of "this is mine" if Rook's Rest was the main goal or so. I kind of feel like he's just like, I got this win and I'm building this shit up and whatever it comes with, like, I have some sort of fighting chance or whatever. But
hear me out, all right, real quick, because I know we're at the end of the episode. It's a Daemon, right? I don't care if he really wants Harrenhal or not. The fact that Jace said Daemon will do whatever my mother says and is just giving shit away without even talking to him first after he went to go get it, he is not going to take that well. When he hears that Jace is just handing over shit that he conquered and said, well, you're just going to listen to what the fuck, he is not going to handle this position very well.
He doesn't handle most things very well, but I think it's one of those things where it probably will end up not being worth it to him. He'll get over it because he wants the throne. So it's just
the sexy. This was since the last part of Daemon losing. These sex scenes be looking stank as hell. Based off of their own words, they barely bathe, as in now, 2024. Could you imagine the wretched stench back then?
What's the face?
I feel like Matt's taking this one personally because when they say they barely bathe,
as in now in 2024, what is that? Who is they?
Oh, he's talking about. Oh, you haven't heard the words of all these rich white celebrities talking about how rarely they actually bathe.
Oh, I thought this was about how white people say they don't wash their legs.
Well, that too. That's all part
it started with that.
It started with that,
and then it was one thing when it was just people, like strangers, just out and about, But like,
and then you get Ashton Kutcher out here. Like, if you don't have dirt visibly on you, you don't need to take a shower. Shit. It's just like,
I'm so glad I grew up where I grew up, and I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to share.
I'm happy that you
that last laugh.
You're welcome to. Fuck. Any more, Mara?
No, that was it. I wanted to end on that funny note.
Okay. So we all agree that Aemond's winning, but we all have some discord about who's losing. Matt says Daemon. Mara, you say Aegon. I'm kind of leaning toward Alicent just because
that girl's been losing since.
It's one of those things like, well, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions, like,
I'd argue Alicent's been losing since she stopped Kristen Cole from taking himself out the honorable way.
Alicent has been losing since she spread her legs for her best friend's daddy.
At her dad's request.
At her father's request.
Yeah, yes. Let her father pimp her out like that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
All right. Final ratings, though. Out of 5 dragons, what y'all giving it?
I'll give it a 3.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sitting at 3 also. Yeah.
Only because I'm intrigued by the end. of like what we're gonna get.
Yeah, it's like nothing exciting, nothing crazy exciting happened this episode except for the mom cest, I guess. But
That was crazy exciting, huh?
yeah.
For Mara specifically.
But it makes like Matt said, it makes me kind of like, okay, now where do we go from this?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we all agreeing on 3 dragons, so yeah. Hashtag them dragons gives this episode 3 out of 5 dragons. Well, folks, I think that's going to be it for this week's episode. We'll be back next week. I want to thank you all for being here. If you're not watching us live, know you can do it on YouTube, youtube.com/creationworld. Also subscribe there for free. And there's right next to the subscribe button is a little bell. Right next to that, on that bell, little bean hanging from it. What I want you to do is I want you to flick that bean. That way you get notified every time we go live, every time we watch a new episode, all that good stuff. Now, you can also find the links to everything we do on creationworld.com. So go there. Links to the YouTube. We're also live on Twitch at twitch.tv/creationworld. You can follow us on all the things: Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at It's Creation World. That is at ITSCREATIA World. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Creation World. And while you're there, go to the Facebook group for this particular podcast, facebook.com/groups/them dragons. You go there, talk about this most recent episode, talk about your predictions, drop the memes in there, all that good stuff. Let's have a good time and talk about this shit because it's fun. There's also another Facebook group on, that you can go ahead and join. And Matt, I'll let you tell them about that.
Facebook.com/group/Smacking It Raw. If you guys are wrestling fans, we have a podcast that's called Smacking It Raw. There's a Facebook group that goes with it. And unlike the IWC and pretty much everywhere else you go to talk wrestling, it's drama-free and laid back where you can just kind of enjoy your fandom and not be annoyed by all of the bullshit and the discourse.
Yeah.
You can find me on all the things at Lord_Cussalott. That is at LORD_CUSSALOTT. Mara, where can they find you?
Same places at Mara the Shark, MARADASHARK.
And Matt, where can they find you?
On Twitter at Matt Ridders at MATTRIDDER for your wrestling content, at Getting Off for your horror content, and everywhere else at Smacking It Raw, TikTok, Threads, Instagram, and Blue Sky.
Cool. That's it for tonight. We'll see y'all next time. Till then, we out.
Bye.
Jello.